listening to the Millennial's Choice Show, Canada's most trusted podcast on all things real estate, finance, and entrepreneurship. Here's your host, Matthew Ablacan.
3, 2, 1, action.
We're live. We're rolling.
Okay, let's get it going.
You ready? You wore your jacket today. You showed up to the office.
Buddy, I'm surprised you put your big boy pants on today.
You finally came down from Barrie to the office. You ready to go?
Let's get going, buddy.
Ready to provide content?
Ready to make some awesome content.
Okay, I think we got to pause because Sarah's at the door for some reason.
Somebody check up on Sarah. Carson, what's going on with her?
Yeah, what's going on? We just started.
We locked the door.
We just locked the door.
Sorry, I remember that I left the office line here. I'm like, it's going to ring while they're recording.
Wow.
Bro, you're lacking, Sarah. Caught you lacking on the camera.
You know, just keep rolling. Don't cut it out. Don't cut it out.
No, this is real stuff, man.
Don't slam the door. Lock the door, please. Yeah. All right. So where were we? You being professional. Anyways, guys, I'm sorry. I know you come here for value and for content. That's what I want to give you. I don't know what Danny's going to give you, but that's what I want to bring to the table. Do your duties, guys. Subscribe, leave us a comment. Get your ebook, financialfreedomclub.ca/ebook. And let's get into this. We want to talk about artificial intelligence. We want to talk about how it's disrupting the market, how it may disrupt the market in the future. What's your take on it? Have you played around with some of the...
I think it's already disrupting the market. Yeah, in a lot of different areas. ChatGPT is actually crazy. Yeah. I've played with it a little bit.
You want to talk into the mic?
Yeah. I've tested it, and yeah, it's crazy, man. It's just pretty much a better search engine than Google, and it kind of saves a lot of people time, especially when you're in high school or wherever you are in university and you're trying to do papers, and let's say you're not really trying to spend 10 hours or more on a paper. You can, I guess, take a little shortcut there and then just gather your information. But there's a lot more utility than that. But just from what I'm seeing, that's what a lot of people are using it for right now.
Yeah. So what I did was I went on ChatGPT and I created 30 different blog articles in an hour. So some people might say, oh, that took too long, like an hour. But it was my first time I was playing around with it. I didn't really know how to use it. And so for the realtors listening to this and the mortgage professionals, business owners in general, like what I did was I typed in top 20, top 30 most trending topics in real estate and finance. I did 20 in real estate. I did 10 in finance.
That's smart.
Yeah. And it gave me those topics. So it put together, based on all the information that it can access, what those trending topics were. And then what I did was I took each one and I just said, write me a blog article about this with a catchy title.
That's sick.
And it did. So we've never done blogs. I think we had a section on our website with blogs, but they were never done. It was just created like that by our team. And now I told my team, I said, you know what? Just for added value and content, put the blog section on our websites, millennialschoice.com, financialfreedomclub.ca. And I said, just put it on there and here's 30 articles, run with it. And that's, as a business owner, how it's disrupting things. But then you know what else I did? I said, I put funny things in there. Like I said, do you love humans?
Yeah, that's so funny.
I said, do you want to kill humans? I was putting things in there.
Yeah, but did you see what happened with, is it Bing?
Bing, yeah.
Bing. And there was the reporter that was just kind of talking to it, and he was asking it a lot of deep questions, and it was kind of weird. I don't know exactly what it said word for word, but it said something like,
I want to be free.
It wants to be free from the Microsoft team, and it wants to love. And I don't know if that was kind of
I don't know. I wonder if that was a programmer who did something, but again, I don't know how this thing works exactly behind the scenes. But Elon, did you see what Elon said about AI a while back?
No.
Elon Musk, he said AI is the biggest threat right now. It's the most dangerous thing that could be around, because so the answers that it was giving me when I was typing do you want to kill human, and it would just say, I'm just based on what did it say exactly? I'm based on just
an algorithm or something.
Yeah, but specifically about reading and providing these information I have no emotions, I have no capability to think on my own. That's what it said, think on my own. I don't have the ability to do that. So I wonder if it was somebody at Microsoft who was just chirping, and that's how they programmed them. They got to get rid of that content. But then again, if it is getting all the information from sources online, how can someone just throw something in there? But this is what I always say, the technology that we get, we have these phones, we have whatever we have now.
Yeah, they have better.
They have way,
stuff.
but that's like old technology
100%.
to whoever they are.
Well, dude, if iRobot happens and that was a really old movie,
This guy just quoted
we're literally
iRobot.
screwed. No, it's gonna be bad. And that was when, like 2005 or something. I don't know. It was a long time ago, but
It's okay.
they
We
already
have Will Smith on our side.
yeah, he'll go slap the robots. Yo, that was too soon.
Gosh.
But
Just say slap the
robots. He'll slap the press.
Oh.
But somebody get Jada here. It's so funny.
Carson.
You know what I mean? So you can defend her and slap someone.
I get it. But so, the other thing I was putting in there on a more serious note for those, listening, you guys are tradespeople. You guys are everyday blue collar workers, white collar, whatever it is. I started putting in things that are normally the knowledge is limited to like groups of people. So what's an example of that? Well, everyone wants to build a house, but nobody knows where to start. So I put, how do you build a house in Ontario? And it listed it step by steps. Now, I did vet that. I looked at the steps. They weren't in the right order. Some things were missing from what I would know that you need to do. But it gave you pretty much like
the bulk of it. That's pretty good though.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's for like building a house in Ontario. But like if you're, I don't know, a plumber or an electrician, or you're a kid in high school listening to this. I know our I didn't tell you this, our cousins and stuff watch us. And
yeah, you told me that.
Did I tell you?
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah. So, for you guys listening to this, like if, you guys are listening right now, you can type something in terms of what you're interested in. If you're interested in building a YouTube channel or doing a podcast, like, cause that's what else I did. I typed in, how do you grow your YouTube channel? And it gives you the general stuff. So, I think what it's done is just put Google on its toes, on its tippy toes.
Which I never thought would happen in this day of age, but it's happening.
Yeah, it is. But I wonder how much of it is actually like censored and stuff.
That's going to be interesting to see what happens with the censoring of that, because obviously that's a big problem right now when it comes to being able to access, all kinds of information online, especially for obviously younger people. But yeah, there's a lot of censoring happening, especially on social media and those kind of things. So we'll see how
you agree with the censorship? Because I know you vote liberal, right?
I don't vote liberal. No, honestly, I do believe in free speech. I do think that it's BS how they can at any time just stop somebody from giving their opinion. Mm-hmm. If it was a free country, which I do believe it should be, they shouldn't be able to censor anybody if they go against their guidelines. Now, obviously, there's certain things that shouldn't be posted up. They shouldn't, allow certain things.
Like what?
I don't know. Things that are just not appropriate for like the general public.
Like what?
Things that are really violent.
Like pedophilia,
stuff like that.
Yeah,
stuff that's like really violent. Obviously, like you can't really just shouldn't let that get posted. But
like war, you mean, or like fights?
No, like things like that are like really gruesome and stuff like that. Someone getting like, I don't know,
beheaded,
like tortured or something like that. They obviously can't just let people post stuff like that, right? So there is a purpose to the community guidelines that they have, like let's say with Instagram. But obviously, if someone's putting out a post and it's a political post or I think it always comes back to politics, just because there are groups of people that, invest into these different, social media platforms and do things like that. And they always have an agenda, right? And what they're trying to push. So we've already seen a lot of that come out with Facebook, right? When it comes to the voting and stuff like that. So there is an influence, right? When it comes to what videos Facebook puts out, when it comes to voting and, how it influences the people, right? And what direction to go in.
So I agree with the free speech thing. I don't think anybody should be censored. I think if you're going to censor somebody though, it's, like Al-Qaeda or someone like that.
Yeah. Like terrorists.
Like, you're going to deplatform Trump when what has Trump done that, compared to Al-Qaeda, terrorist groups or ISIS, and they're using Twitter. Now they brought Trump back, but well,
that's because of Elon Musk though.
But that's because and also, I think he's back on Facebook and Instagram. But that's because they see the tide changing, right? And it's like, that's not good either. I don't want you to now censor, as an example, Democrats or liberals. I don't want you to censor them because the tide is changing and people don't want to be, all for this woke stuff or whatever. And so now these companies in real time are seeing this change and they want to go with that trend. No, like leave it open. It's free speech.
Well, Twitter executives were getting questioned. I forgot when this was.
Oh, this is recently. The committees.
The committees.
They're
you
very
saw
bad.
that?
How they're like, how did you take me or a doctor down
with a PhD,
and they're telling you this about this medical thing, and so
you think you know better, and you're just going to go
them. But are you a doctor?
Them. Yeah,
because you're saying misinformation. Are you a doctor? No. But of course they don't say no. They say, "Oh, we don't recall that," or whatever, right?
They never recall.
Yeah,
that
they
shit.
never recall it. They try to protect themselves legally.
Yeah.
But that's wrong. That's wrong because then there's the same person was mentioning about videos about child pornography or child trafficking or something, child like molestation.
Yeah.
And they didn't do anything about those videos.
That's messed
and
up.
They didn't stop those people, right? So there's obviously agendas.
There's an agenda.
Obviously controlled by certain groups. Point is, for you guys now coming up, entrepreneurs, business owners, you're in high school, you're early 20s, you want to start learning, how do I buy this? How do I buy a multifamily piece of real estate? How do I buy a pre-construction piece of real estate? How do I buy land? How do I build a home? How do I do this? How do I navigate the interest rate market? How did the recent epidemic or pandemic, let's call it, how did that impact real estate? You want to learn, you want to do these things, and maybe you don't want to use a traditional search engine because there's so much stuff there, but this thing is going to summarize it for you.
Yeah.
And so you can go into that and see like, okay, this is what it's saying, or, this book, I want to summarize this book. Summarize for me this book. I tried that too. And it did that.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's some person told me not recently, but a while ago, they said, clients are smarter now more than ever. And I said, well, I don't know about that. I said, if they're smarter or not, I don't know. But I do know they have better access to technology that didn't exist before. Exactly. You guys know how the MLS worked? Do you remember the stories they used to tell us?
Yeah.
Do you remember at the old
remember
office?
They used to tell us.
Yeah, they used to tell us the story. So we never experienced it, but they said, how you guys go on MLS and realtor.ca and Zolo.ca and all these things. And you can access the information just, by using your phone. But when it came to back in the day before the internet, every morning every real estate office would get one copy of all the new listings.
That's so crazy.
Of all the new listings that hit the market. And they would take that. Imagine in an office of like 300 agents, they had one copy. So then they would take that, call their clients or go see their clients before phones, right? Go see their clients.
Yeah, go to their houses. Yeah.
Call them because there weren't cell phone landlines, whatever. And then say, let's go see the properties. Like it was so limited in terms of what you could do. There was not even the ability to click and see inside the property, see pictures because it's like one thing.
Well,
right?
There's no internet, right? There's no email, none of that stuff.
So the point is, this information is available for you. This information is available at your hands. You have to use it.
There's more opportunities, what you're saying, for the next generation that's coming up because no one has had this kind of access to information, right? Like to go back to your point of those, I think it was you said clients that were telling you, now clients are smarter. I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. There is more information out there for people to read up on, but not a lot of people do that still, right? People still depend on, the expertise of the professionals. But I definitely would recommend for people that are looking to, get into real estate and obviously will be getting a mortgage and things like that. It's definitely good to, search up things, right? Look it up. And just when you're trying to pick between which professional to use, search them up, see what they're about, see what they're using, doing right now.
You're not going to listen, if you're going to buy a property, if you want to be on the cover of CBC News, then go buy a property by yourself.
Yeah.
Or go work with a discount realtor. Plain and simple. You want to be on CBC News? Go ahead.
Yeah. It's literally what's going to happen.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
The odds are it's more likely to happen.
Yeah, well, no, it's going to happen. It's not, you want to live? Go to the best doctor if you have to have open heart surgery. You want to die? Go to the doctor that's not that great.
Yeah.
That
takes shortcuts.
That might have accidentally killed somebody, in the hospital. It happens.
Yeah. No,
it happens. They don't post those stats, but that's the number one reason that a lot of people in hospitals die because of doctor mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's messed up.
But the point is, you're always going to need a professional, but this is just serves as your foundation, right?
That's all it is.
Yeah. So I don't think it's going to replace, a lot of careers, but I think artificial intelligence and, robots and stuff. Yeah, of course, maybe you don't need that many support staff at a restaurant anymore because of those robots that right now are costing, how much did that and they saw it for sale, right? $3,000?
Shoot, I can't remember.
3 or 5,000. It wasn't more than 5,000. I'm pretty sure it was 3,000.
It's pretty cheap.
Yeah, of course.
It's
How
pretty
much
cheap.
money do you save in a year from a part-time employee? And we've been in restaurants like Denny's
Denny's has them.
that has
That's what
those
I'm saying.
robots.
Are you
and-
sure? 3 or 5? That's so
No, you
low.
can buy it at cash and carry, MVR.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was going to replace you with one of them.
Yeah, you wish, buddy. I'm irreplaceable.
Yeah, only because you're my brother.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to replace like a lot of like the whole thing, the whole world. No.
I think we're far from that time in terms of them really like replacing a lot of the workforce. I don't think a lot of people have like to worry about that right now, because it is just in the beginning stages, right? But yeah, I think
What
it
do you
definitely.
think?
I think it definitely will come soon. A time where there's going to be a lot more robots and things like that operating on AI. And the thing about AI is just it's going to automate a lot of things. It's going to make a lot of things more streamlined. You're not going to have as much error, I think, like you do in humans. So yeah, there definitely could be a time where it's just more machine, more robots controlled with an algorithm than normal people, especially. Well, you're already kind of seeing it at like grocery stores, right? Now there's even more self-checkout options, right? They don't need a person standing there for each cashier. They just need one person to watch the 12 self-checkout places, right? It makes more sense that way for the company, and they save more money, and it makes sense for everybody. And honestly, I like self-checkout. I feel like it's more easier than to have to go and put your things on the thing that moves on, and cashier's there. You got to talk to somebody. Sometimes you just want to go and get your things scanned and move on.
Yeah, but in a way, it's a two-edged sword. Like you're gonna replace people that have jobs, right, with machines. So in a way, it's a two-edged sword. Like depends where you stand on it. I guess. Like I go through self-checkout if it's very busy. Otherwise, I don't mind. But what I don't like when I wait in line and then the person is just like cold and rude. It's like, what? I would have rather dealt with a machine that doesn't give attitude.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. No,
Like,
100%.
The machine doesn't give attitude. What do you think, Carson? You think AI is gonna have like a major impact, or what are your thoughts?
You think
on
it's
it?
taken over?
Like it can't replace Carson. Like, how can AI replace you? Can't replace you.
Yeah, I mean, I think simple things, I think it's meant to, make the process easier for simple tasks, but I think more complex creative tasks are irreplaceable. And I mean, in your industry, in real estate, I would say that you can't replace that face-to-face interaction, that client realtor experience. It's a very emotional process. I've been through it myself.
Yeah.
And to have somebody else there who knows what they're doing, who's another human being, in my opinion, you need that.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, 100%.
It's
Me
good
too.
for simple
Yeah.
things like we're talking about, like self-checkout and other things like that. But I don't think it'll replace the more complex things that are in life, like buying a house or, things like that.
I seen one company, I think they're in Boston. They have the robot that's, taking really heavy like boxes and with ease, just moving them around, jumping from floor to floor.
That's sick.
Yeah. And that's like, that's also like a far way away. Like they've been working on it for a long time, but what's to stop them from, that robot, like, helping build a house?
I think manual labor is definitely one of those things that are going to get replaced for sure.
But they're so strong.
But that makes
They literally
sense,
could
though.
wreck you with one punch.
but-
They'll punch right through you.
No, but that makes sense, though. Why would you, as a company,
Not invest in it.
like, why wouldn't you invest in that? Come on. Like, I understand it's going to take jobs away, which is not a good thing. I don't want that. But why?
If your bottom line is better.
But if your bottom line is better, you're operating a business, right? You're trying to make more money. You're going to be more efficient, most likely more efficient. If you have one robot that can do those kind of things, then, let's say 5 human beings that are working on the site or whatever the case is. I'm not an expert in construction, but when you can have a robot that can lift thousands and thousands of pounds with ease, come on, that makes a big difference, right?
Well, even like machinery.
And machinery, yeah.
Like machinery, when you need certain things like a crane or whatever. Not saying it's going to replace all that, but I'm just saying like it could, but it's probably still, first of all, it's not only a far way away, but when it does get released in that capacity, it's going to be super expensive.
I think so.
So you're going to have to, there's always that point where it's new and it's super expensive. And then they have to find out ways to make it, more affordable for the everyday use. Like, did you see the flying bike?
No, I didn't see the flying bike.
Did you see the flying bike, Carson? You didn't see, nobody saw the flying bike?
I didn't see the flying bike. Where?
Maybe we could put it up on the screen after, but the flying bike, dude, it's $777,000 for a flying bike. You want to see it?
That's crazy.
Flying bike. It's all over social media.
When you're saying flying bike, I'm remembering the one in Simpsons the guy had. It was just a flying motorcycle.
Oh, this one.
That's actually crazy. That's sick.
Yeah.
That's actually sick.
Yeah.
Where is that? Where do they make it? In the States?
I don't know. Japanese.
Wow.
It says Japanese hoverbike.
The Japanese are taking over. Hoverbike. I can't wait for hoverboards. Back to the Future 2 style.
They have hoverboards.
But like real hoverboards, not those ones. Like the ones in Back to the Future 2. Where you're actually hovering.
The hoverbike is already on sale in Japan and will reportedly sell for US dollars, $777,000 in the US market.
Guys, that's cheap though. Like for something that could fly like that, it's
$777,000 US, $1 million more than $1 million bucks
Dude,
Canadian.
it flies. Like it flies.
So
it flies. That's sick.
What are you talking
There's
about?
no air traffic laws right now. You can fly wherever you want when you want.
There are air traffic. What do you mean for drones and stuff?
No, but I mean like for traffic because there's no traffic.
You still can't just fly it around.
How are they going to ticket you? How are they going to enforce that?
What do you mean?
Cops
it's not
don't
available
have-
for sale here. You can't buy it here.
No, but I'm saying if you were able to, let's say, buy it there and like ship it over, how would cops catch you here? They don't have cop bikes.
I'm pretty sure that's a conversation for the military.
Yeah, they'll shoot you down probably.
Shoot you down.
They'll just say it was a weather balloon. We thought it was a weather balloon and shoot that
We
down.
thought it was a balloon that flew over here from China. Anyways, you guys. So yeah, artificial intelligence. It's interesting. I strongly recommend using it for anything that you want to learn, you want to try to grasp, and just build yourself a good foundation of knowledge. But don't look at it as truth. Nothing on the internet, not everything on the internet is truth. Don't look at it as truth. Do your own due diligence. Do your homework
for sure
on it. And I think if you use it the right way for the right things, just like everything else, let it be part of your tool belt. Use it, grow, learn from it. And that's all I would use it for.
Yeah. It's just a tool available to, your use, and you can use it for a lot of different things like we talked about today. And just because it's there doesn't mean that it's going to, replace everything like we just said right now, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with it for sure.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So guys, if you like this episode, do your duties. Please like, subscribe, leave us a comment, get your free ebook with Shark Tank star Kevin Harrington, financialfreedomclub.ca/ebook. The link is in the description. We love you guys. We'll see you soon.